This is Dr. Loos. I'm at Great Life Chiropractic in Philadelphia. I'm going to go over a couple tips for runner's knee, which is also known as patellar tendonitis. Some people call it jumper's knee. It all depends on what the activity is that's bothering you, but essentially that's a term for patellar tendonitis. The patellar tendon runs from the kneecap down to the shin. Right here, it's your patellar tendon, and it starts above the kneecap, and continues below the kneecap right here. So this piece of tissue can get irritated very easily with certain activities, but particularly running and jumping. Those are two activities that really irritate the knee. So my first line of defense for this would be an ice massage. What I did is took a Dixie cup, filled it 3/4 of the way with water, stuck it in the freezer. Next day, I got a nice hunk of ice here, and I do an ice massage right on the tendon. So what I'm going to do is just relax the leg, relax the muscle here so the tendon's nice and soft. Take that ice and just run it straight across. So I'm going in horizontal motion right across the tendon, just trying to get between the fibers of the tissue and break up any kind of inflammation, any kind of scar tissue that might be starting to form in there. So with an ice massage, it's a much more intense therapy than just putting an ice pack on it. So we're not talking about 15 minutes of ice massage. We can do this in 90 seconds. We do 90 seconds right there below the kneecap, and then 90 seconds above the kneecap going horizontal, same thing here. Just like that, 90 seconds. Do that a couple times below for 90 seconds again, another 90 seconds above. That's going to help. Ice is never a problem. Whenever you have an injury of any sort, be it chronic or acute, ice is almost never the wrong thing to do. So the ice massage on that patellar tendon is one of the most effective, easiest things to do when you have this injury flare up, this patellar tendonitis, jumper's knee, runner's knee. So that's step one. I'm going to move on to a hamstring stretch. Hey, this is Dr. Loos. I'm from Great Life Chiropractic in Philadelphia. Going over a couple stretches and techniques to take care of and avoid and prevent runner's knee, which is patellar tendonitis. Patellar tendon holds that kneecap in place, and sometimes you get irritated above or below the kneecap. That's something we want to avoid. It's a common injury for basketball players. People jump a lot. People start and stop. Tennis players, also anybody who does a lot of high mileage running or even low mileage running. Running hills, etc., can really irritate that. So there's a couple ways to take care of it. One of the most important things to do is keep the hamstring flexible. Hamstring is your muscle that runs from top of your thigh here down past the knee. And what it does, it slows down the lower leg as you take a full stride out here. So it pulls that lower leg back, prevents you from hyperextending every time you stride. The problem is if your hamstrings are too tight, you tend to shorten your stride. And when you shorten your stride, instead of landing on your leg here in a nice strong position, you land a little bit shorter and put a little more pressure on the kneecap. So that's usually very, very important for anyone who has runner's knee, is hamstring flexibility. Almost every patient who's ever come into my office and said they had pain in the front of the knee, I've checked their hamstring is almost always deficient. I can't actually remember one patient who didn't have hamstring deficiency with this injury. So real simple, what we're going to do is use a step to stretch the hamstring. I'm going to put my heel up on the step, first, second step, depends on your flexibility, depends on how tall you are. What we want to do is isolate the middle of the muscle. So if we straighten the leg all the way out and lean forward and touch your toe, like they taught you in second grade gym class, all you're going to feel is burning behind the knee. That's not stretching. So what I like to do is just bend the knee to a point where I feel the stretch right in the middle of the leg, right in the middle of the hamstring, then drop my sternum, my breastbone right down towards the kneecap, just like that. So when I stretch that way, I feel it right in the middle of the hamstring, right in the meat of the leg, not in the tendon behind the knee or down into the calf. What I like to do is take a nice deep breath and exhale. As I exhale, drop a little further into the stretch. I'm not concerned with touching my toes or anything like that. That's not important in the stretch. I don't know what that is. That's just bad form. Touching your toes, that has nothing to do with hamstring flexibility. Another exhale, and we're stretching a little further into that. What I like to do is 5 deep, easy breaths. Exhale, on every exhale, go a little further into the stretch. Again, we're trying to concentrate and work on the middle of the hamstring. So I don't want to feel it up in my hip here. I don't want to feel it back behind the knee or in the calf. I want to feel the stretch right in the middle of the leg. So manipulate that angle of the knee, drop the sternum, drop the chest, right to the kneecap that we're working on. As you exhale, go a little further into stretch. 5 deep, easy breaths. 5 times you go a little further into your stretch. You want to be warmed up before we start this kind of stretch, but it's a vitally important stretch to anyone who has back pain, anyone who has, and any kind of athlete, runner, jumper, power lifter. Everybody needs good strong hamstrings, good flexibility in your hamstrings. That's it for now, and I'll catch you next time. I've gone over some ice massage and a hamstring stretch. Now I'm going to go over a quadricep stretch. Quadricep is the muscle, starts up in the hip here, ends right there at the top of the kneecap. A lot of doctors and physical therapists will tell you that's what the cause of patellar tendonitis is. I don't agree because almost no one has tight quadriceps. Most people have tight hamstrings. Probably 90% of the patients I see have tight hamstrings. The first thing I see when I see a patient with patellar tendonitis, first thing I do is check their hamstring flexibility, and almost every time they have hamstring deficiency. Almost never do they have quad deficiency, but I'm going to go over the stretch anyway. It's not going to hurt to stretch the quad. So what we like to do is do the standard quad stretch is just pull the heel to butt. Take my hands, put on the wall, so obviously we're going to try not to fall over. Grabbing my shoelaces and pulling my heel right up to my butt. So you can see right there, almost everyone can pull their heel to their butt. If you do have an irritated patellar tendon, this stretch might be difficult. So we're just going as far as you can, pain-free range of motion. What you want to do is isolate the middle of the quadricep, the middle of this muscle is what needs to be stretched. If you can get your heel all the way up to your butt, what I have to do is pull that a little further and extend a little bit. That way we're feeling a little bit higher into the hip flexor, which is up here, up at the front of the hip. So what we're looking to do is make sure we have enough length in this muscle so it's not pulling too hard on the kneecap. Simple as that. So that's my third step. We did the ice massage, the hamstring stretch, and now we're doing the quadricep stretch. That combined with my other 3 exercises in my other video. This will help you with the patellar tendonitis. Ice is always a good thing. Any injury, ice always helps, be it with the ice massage or 20 minutes wrapped up, ice around the knee. Taking a break from running sometimes helps. Sometimes this is an injury you can run through. Any questions, email me, greatlife.chiro@hotmail.com, or check me out, www.greatlifechiropractic.com. Thanks. See you next time.